The right side of the map in the blue. Folks, he is the victor over Ragnarok and over Hero. It is Cure. His opponent 2-0ing the scariest Zerg in Korea at the very least. He is Byun. And I'm very curious to see where these players opt to go in this setup. And already we got a bit of a interesting SCV. Byun, you're gonna proxy this. You build one barracks zone, one abroad, or you just queue in the other. There we go. Okay, the Mark Schloppy build, the Euthermal build. As you go, you build one base on the map, and you build one barracks home. You build one barracks on the map, and you hope your opponent is paying attention. There we go. That's the one I wanted. So you get 2 Reapers at a time, or there's another version of this build where you build Marines from this barracks, and you build a tech lab, and you build Marauders and Concussive Shell out of this barracks. But that's not really in favor as much anymore. But as I say, that second gas is going down, so it is a possibility. But yeah, okay, it's gonna be the Reaper play. I don't think that should surprise anyone all that much. Maybe it's gonna surprise Cure, because Cure is not SCV scouting in this game, number one. Now he has gone for barracks, double gas, and factory. So that means that technically he has the setup that he needs. This is the standard build for a reason. It keeps you safe from early game aggression and gets you a decent economy from the back of that. Now the Reapers are starting to arrive, and if Cure gets the scout off here, the only thing that might make him a little bit confused is the fact that this is double gas, but here come the Reapers from Byun already. And of course, Cure does have one of his Reapers kept at home, but the factory is not done yet. So the Reapers, they're going to be able to delay the command center that much. That is a given. And the Reapers in the main base, they 3-shot SCVs. How much damage will they be able to get done? Actually, the Reaper pops out just in time. Great timing for Cure. And it's only 2 workers. It's only a delay. Unless maybe there's more. Byun's going to have 3 Reapers on the field right now, but Hellions are already out, and Cure is continuing to build Reapers of his own. So Byun not quite paying attention to the timing that he needs, and well, now he could have 4 right now. He could have a much more powerful force. Okay, now the barracks will run back home. He's got a 5th Reaper, or 4th Reaper, excuse me, joining the fray here. And can he get what he wants? Because for right now, Cure, yes, his orbital was, or his command center was delayed just a little bit, but Byun's is still slower. He lost a couple SCVs, but Byun is only up 1. And, well, he didn't lose any of his Reapers. So now there's 3 Reaper, 2 Hellion pressure, or if Cure wants 5 Reaper, 3 Hellion. I wouldn't hate that in this scenario, just considering what he knows Byun's army composition. It's just a bunch of Reapers. Getting more Hellions there is fantastic. Now Byun, he's got to find another way. He's got to find another way to make something happen here. Because again, that pressure did not work out. Now, he's going to get a Raven. That much is nice, especially against Cure going Banshees, but this is cloakless. So never mind. The Raven actually not all that useful. And now Cure, we're really starting to see the advantage of his build. He's going to be up in SCVs, but more importantly, he can drop that second mule just a little bit faster. We see his mineral income spike pretty significantly, which again, small leads can snowball into big leads, particularly in a mirror matchup. The one thing that Byun's got going for himself is Raven's going to be faster, but that is because Cure opted for a Banshee. I'm going to have to see how much damage it gets done. It takes 3 shots from Banshee to kill a probe, or to kill a, well, it does take 2 shots. Takes 3 shots from Banshee to kill an SCV, I think. Oh, never mind. They're paired up. That's 2. SCV, normally things that would take 2 shots to kill an SCV take 3 shots if you are if you're killing an SCV versus say a probe or a drone. But Banshees, they do enough that they do 2-shot regardless. But here come the Cyclone, and with the Raven here providing vision, this is going to be almost an immediately dead Banshee. Now, we'll get out. But okay, Byun, I think we're going to see at this point, he's got an opportunity to just dive into the main base. And with these Reapers, at this point, they're not super useful, but if you dive into the main, you can go and maybe get some damage done. But no, he's just going to hold the Xel'Naga, make sure that he's aware of any sort of pressure coming in from Cure, and he is finding nothing. Now it's his turn to arrive, and he's going to find... Oh, okay, well, they're going to kill a Reaper. I mean, Reapers are not super useful, but you can get a scout off. And what he's actually doing here, I thought he was checking for a drop, but what he's doing is checking to see whether the Raven can find his way on the bottom right side without getting detected. He wants to clear the Xel'Naga, so there is kind of a spot where the Xel'Naga pretty much is guaranteed to see the Raven. And now the Raven will run across unfettered, and maybe that is going to be a little bit of economic damage to bring Byun. I'm not going to say back into this game because he's not out of it, but bring it a little bit closer to parity. Well, we can do some fun stuff there with using friendly fire as well, as this tank will clean the auto turret in a couple shots, but, well, there's another round of aggression coming in from Byun. Double drop showing up outside of the, or loading up in the main base, and, well, this is going to get scouted out pretty much immediately, but this is a second Banshee that Cure has made to really minimal gain, as the Raven will have to commit the rest of its energy on the Cyclone to make sure that it stays alive, as now the Banshee will go down. Yeah, there we go. So Byun keeps his Raven alive. Cure loses his Banshee. Now that's the second Banshee that really hasn't gotten that much done. And now here comes Byun. Or not. I got excited, folks. I thought Byun was going to bomb into the main base, but he didn't, in fact. This is kind of a little cool SimCity here for the tank. It makes it a little bit harder for Byun to get on top of it. Okay, there we go. In the main base, but Vikings are here, so Byun keeps trying. He's got ideas. Into the main base. Not into the main base. So Cure's got this map pretty much locked down. I don't really know how much. Byun's going to be able to make happen. So I want to see a fourth base on the way. I mean, yeah, maybe that's a little bit too early, but when we're looking at Fortress Terran, and that really is what Cure is. He's got sensor towers. He is very well in it. He's a solid defensive position. Yeah, Byun's going to try to find some level of value. The Cyclone knocks down a Hellion, establishes Xel'Naga presence, and Byun, he's got a lot of map vision right now, so he will be well aware of anything that's happening from here.
Additional supply depots.
I don't know that he's really going to be able to break through in any meaningful way. But okay, here comes Cure out on the map, and Byun sees this, so he should be able to rotate his army as appropriate if he feels like he needs to, and it seems like he should. I don't see too much defensively on Byun's side of the map. That is one of the benefits of having both Xel'Nagas and just having this line of vision that Byun has had for quite a while. You don't really have to worry about keeping your stuff at home if you're confident you're going to be able to see what's happening. Now he even gets... He doesn't need the Reaper at this point, but the Reaper is a really good unit to hold Xel'Naga, so he's going to get the Reaper out. He's going to run back, and eventually he's going to retake it, and there we're going to go. Byun now has his upgrades. It's a little slower on the 2-2, but should be mostly fine. There we go. The armory is done. So Byun's got his upgrades pretty much at the same timing. Cure scans out that there's a fourth base, and Byun, his fourth base is a little slower, but Cure's is not on location, so that's going to be a wash. And the question now is, where do we deviate? Cure's still on Viking production. Byun is... Well, actually, he's not building anything out of his starport right now. I'm curious to see where he goes. But there we go. Okay. +1 mech attack. I do think it's really funny. I didn't pick up on this at first, but Cure's stim and combat shields, they're just complete. His 1-1 was done before his stim and combat shields, but that's just how TvT works sometimes. You go and you understand what upgrades take longer, what they're more important, because stimming on top of tanks is nice, but when you have 3 tanks defensively and the bio in front, it's just really hard to jump on top of that. So it just makes sense that you go and you get your upgrades that are going to serve you, that take a little bit longer to get going. So yeah, Byun, he's got his 4th base, 5th base now on the way, which is what you want to see. Cure, he's got his 4th base as well, and I think we're just going to see both of them maxed out. Now, Byun does have himself a little bit of a supply advantage. He's sitting at about 20 army supply, a couple workers, but remember, folks, this is a setup is now here is dealing with a drop in the main base. This is a nice repair on the tank, but Byun gets on top of the tank, will fall. This is now a setup where even with Byun's supply advantage, I don't really think he's going to be able to get that much done. And certainly not with the anti-armor missile, but he gets 5 SCVs. He kills the tank. Maybe he softens up the position later on. And Curia just building tons and tons and tons and tons of extra command centers. And more importantly, tons and tons and tons and tons of extra starports. Getting tech labs on all of them. We are now, as we're looking at 4 or 5 bases, now solidly into the late game here is Byun setting up a bit of a multi-prong. Drops into the main base. He's got pressure outside of the 4th, and it looks like all the medevacs actually will be able to get in. They get on top of the tank. Oh, they're going to be able to 9-3-3. That is, if you want to talk about bounties, that is a glorious one, but Byun's got to actually target it down. There we go. Armor denied. Attack denied. This tank will be disabled, and Byun's not pushing into the other side of the map just yet. But he's looking about it now, thinking about it, and this army will eventually get dealt with. But Byun got a lot. And most importantly, it's the timing of the tech. He's going to have a very significant 3-3 versus 2-2 timing where his Marines will just... Cure will not be able to fight. But Cure moving into Ravens this quickly is actually such a saving grace for him. Because anti-armor missiles, they negate a majority of the upgrade disadvantage. In fact, probably all of it. And then you can disable tanks. It means it's so much harder for Byun to take the fight. Now, Byun has a really nice siege line. And I don't think he lost all that much. But he's got to find... I mean, he found damage. He found tangible damage in this game. He's killed off a couple of... I mean, the SCVs are not what's important. Again, those supply depot or the E-base really are the problem that Byun was... The bounty that Byun was able to find is now Marines on the right side, but he doesn't really have anything in the air. It's 5 medevacs, and that is just about it. He's relying on scans to make something happen. He's got to drop on the north side as he sieges up the right, but despite that upgrade advantage, it's not here yet. It still is going to take a little bit of time, so Byun is not able to make that happen. Meanwhile, on the right side, a couple of his tanks will be disabled because, again, 3 Ravens at a time for Cure means that Cure, by default, wins any tank battle. So where do you go, Byun? Okay, well, that's where you go. Make 4. Your opponent has 3 starports, make 4. Or your opponent has 4 starports, make 4 more, make 5. And then try to take advantage of maybe some prospective economical advantage to turn that into a significant Raven lead. But here's actually quicker to his 5th than Byun is. And that is a bit obnoxious. Now here comes Byun. But he can't find his way onto the high ground. I don't think he can. Okay, well, as I say that, he actually finds a sieged up position. The tanks are, in fact, sieged up. Or he catches them on siege, he gets on top of it. But I don't know if he gets the base necessarily as the army rotates over from Cure. Byun has a drop elsewhere on the map into the 3rd base. Really just trying to take advantage of any sort of pressure that Cure has. But Cure doesn't get any... Byun doesn't get anything out of that one. Nothing whatsoever. But now, okay, Cure trying to solve this problem. But, well, Byun's aware of that, so it's not really getting much done here. And really, this is a chess match on both sides. Both players trying to find opportunities to break each other, and no one really has. But Byun now, he's getting Corvid Reactors a little slow, but he's got Ravens on the way, 2 at a time. He would have more, but he's maxed out. He's got to find some way to trade away maybe some of the supply. Probably the Marines, to be totally honest. And the big deal also is a 3-3 will now be done for Cure. Often when we see Terrans go late game like this, it doesn't even really matter because, well, you go and we don't even see them get 3-3 sometimes because it's all about the Ravens and the tanks in the late game. But no, both players, they do have that ultimate upgrades for ultimate set of upgrades for their Marines. And the big deal now is Cure is a little bit faster on the orbital explosion. Well, actually, I did say that. Never mind. Byun is late. He's just getting more. Byun is on his 5th base. He does have the planetary there. Planetary Well, that's the big deal. He took his 4th as an orbital, not as a planetary. So that is something. So now the bio looks to stem forward. Byun, does he have the siege line that he wants? And it seems like he does, and this is going to be a very... yeah, this +2 tanks, this base is going to fall very quickly indeed. One more volley. Byun stims in, tries to knock the Ravens down, is not going to find it. And that volley, he's not going to get it either. In fact, that's a move command. All the Marines go down. Byun in the middle of the map. Okay, dive bombing on top of these tanks, but he's not going to get it. In fact, he drops a tank for a tank and trades 1 for 1, but Byun now, he's down 40 supply. And that idea, while interesting, has not worked out for him whatsoever. So he's down about 50 army supply. He does not have the bank. Yes, he's mining more, but he does not have the bank that Cure has. And this has unlocked Cure to go take another base. Now tanks are going to be disabled, and Cure, with the patience that he's shown this entire game, it seems like that will be enough for him as he's getting ready now to posture into the middle of the map. Can he find the value that he wants? Getting the pressure onto Byun. Got a bit of a run by set on the right side, but that's not what matters. What matters is this pressure at the front. Biostims forward. Tank will fall. Second one is disabled. And now Byun seems like he's just got to give this position up. I don't know that he's going to be able to break it. He has been able to recover at least some of his army supply, but that's the cost of a base. That's going to be the cost of some SCVs, although realistically at this point he may be okay with losing those SCVs. Well, he's got ludicrous amounts of mules, but Byun does give up a position, but does the flank. How is this one going to work out here? Byun coming in from every side, every angle. The Ravens, the fleet, every tank is going to get locked down here. The sieged up ones, high priority. Bio, the flank coming in from every side. Byun, he's got to knock all this down. I think he's going to get every single bit of thing. The Ravens are prime target, but he doesn't want to engage into the auto turrets, not just yet. And actually, some of the tanks will stay alive at least for a moment, but now Byun getting on top of all the Ravens, the air fleet going down, and this is what Byun wants. But actually, he's not targeting things. The auto turrets are doing so much here, and I thought that was going to be incredible for Byun, but it's not at all. Byun, he does not find the fight he wants, and Cure remaxes. Not many Ravens whatsoever going down. It's 8 for 8. But Byun may be sensing opportunity in the middle of the map. Maybe something can happen. But the bio coming in, and again, the Ravens, they deny Byun his tank advantage if he ever had one. And he just can't fight anymore. It's just not possible. And now, here finds another base. This is where Byun has been muling. So knocking this base down makes such a difference. Makes such a difference in this game, really. Byun, he does have a bit of aggression on the other side, but that doesn't find what it wants. In fact, doesn't get really anything whatsoever. So Byun now, he's lost 2 bases. Cure has every base on his side of the map. And, well, can Byun make something happen here? He's got a bit of an army of Cure on the right side. He doesn't really have the Ravens to knock these tanks down. But the tanks are not getting the best shots to start, so that's a couple tanks falling. This is a nice start here for Byun. Cure has got to get his defense together, sieging up those tanks, excuse me, and daring Byun to attack further. So yes, Byun gets an orbital. But how much more can he find? How much more can he get here? Again, these Marines, they only have 1 armor compared to the 3 that Cure has, but they're all pretty overstimmed and not too many medevacs. So Byun trying to find his way through the center of the map here. Can he make this work? His economy in shambles. Only 55 workers now. He's down bases on Cure. But he will find a tank in the middle of the map, and that's nice. That's something. Oh, there we go. Armor Shredder. Tanks will be disabled, but one of them, at the very least, will be... Actually, both of them will be able to be unsieged. Cure, though, maxed out once again. The Raven fleet runs forward, and more tanks will be shut down. More tanks sacrificed here on the altar of Cure's aggression. But, again, keeping an eye on what Byun is doing. He's got a bit of a multi-prong on the north side of the map here. He's actually got a lot of army on the middle. And this drop is actually denying a decent amount of mining from Cure. So, yeah, he's got a bunch of bases, but he doesn't have mining out of every base just yet, as we're seeing the mules getting categorically knocked down. But in the middle of the map here comes Cure. He's going to get more tanks. But Byun now seizing the opportunity. He thinks he's got room, and he's going to get on top of all the tanks. But the tank shots on the backside is not going to be enough. Auto turrets are dropped pretty much everywhere. Byun trying to break right on through, but it's not going to be enough again. Byun, he thinks he's got room. He thinks he's got an opportunity. But it is not quite enough at the end of the day. But Cure, where is his army? It's all stuck in production for the moment. So Byun does own the middle of the map. And Cure scans the bottom right side. Says, oh, Byun, that's where you've been mining from. That's where your value is. And Cure immediately dispatches a bunch of Marines to go down and deal with that one because this is an orbital. Byun this has been true across all of his matchups recently. It's kind of cool, but he has just been refusing to build planetaries. He has one on this map. It's this base. Everywhere else, they're all orbitals. And well, Cure's going to try to target this one down. 13 SCVs have gone down, and tanks are going to be able to deal with this base. But 15 workers, they hit the deck. And Byun, again, his economy is in shambles, but this drop on the north side, it got so much done. It denied so much mining. Now, Cure's happy at 58. Because he has... How many orbitals? Where are they? 6. Actually, he only has 6 orbitals. Byun has 8. So, I've been talking about Cure's economy, and it is in a good spot, but the burstiness of Byun's cannot be overstated. But we're no longer seeing 16 Marines at a time anymore. Byun started to run low on money, maybe just a little bit. What a game we have in this game number 1. I mean, this Data C has given us some of the most epic late games that we've seen in quite a while. Oh, there we go. That's the drop you're looking for here. 4 workers will go down, but again, the target, the goal, the bounty, the prize is this orbital. That means less mules, less scans. And oh, in the middle of the map here, Byun sees this army. Does he pounce on top of it? Tanks are sieged up, but Cure, he sees it as well. So he is not going to allow this to happen, and we're going to see any disables. There we go. Okay, so this, and then, oh, that hits center mass. Yeah, you can't fight. You can't take this fight as Byun anymore. Maybe on the high ground, but scans remove a lot of that one as this drop is now dealt with for the most part with the tank and the Marine. So Cure backs up there. Well, the multitasking of these players is kind of ludicrous. They are all over the place. And as much as we're talking about how Byun feels a little bit behind and Cure is feeling back and behind, back and forth, I struggle to see how this game ends. But the anti-armor missile is going to be fantastic. So more tanks will fall down. Cure found himself a wonderful position. But on the other side of the map, folks, you know the story. Every time there's damage somewhere, Byun has damage elsewhere. He stims in onto the third base, but he's not. That's a move command. He cannot make that one happen. And it seems like Byun's aggression is a little bit more powerful than even what Cure's happening. In fact, Cure loses an orbital, and Cure now relegated to the middle of the map, but Byun, he's pretty down at supply. 30 army supply down. Cure scans bottom right, scans bottom middle, wants to make sure that Byun doesn't have a hidden base somewhere. Really, he's scanning every potential base Byun has. Now that he sees that, well, the economy of Byun is really starting to run dry, he's going to feel pretty happy about it, but he doesn't know the pocket base. Anyway, Bio, they're going to try to get this orbital down. Byun does not want to lose this. He needs the mules, but it looks like he will lose it anyways. And, well, the Ravens, they're not dying. 8 SCVs fall. The orbital goes down. Wait. Cure, I can't believe Cure didn't see this. It's one of... Byun has these 2 bases, right? He's the rich gas base, and he's this base in the upper left, and Cure has no idea. If Byun wins this game, and I'm not saying he will, this game it's still going to be a very hard game for Byun to win. If Byun wins this game, it's going to be because of those ninja bases. Anti-armor missiles goes down on top of everything, but Byun re-engages anyways because... Well, maybe he's got a little bit more healing. Where's that? Okay. Liberator is going to siege up this base. Gets a tank. Gets a couple SCVs. But the missile turret pops, and that's going to force the Liberator out for the moment. The one random Liberator is such an interesting decision as Byun feels like he can go back into Raven count now, building one of them. That's not a lot. He really is hurting the gas, but this concave is actually fantastic for Byun. Do not fight in a tank range. Not on 1 armor. Not into all those tanks with +3 attack, but... If you can find a timing where the tanks are in siege, and Byun is aware that these tanks are in siege, by the way. He's got the scan on it. Maybe this is going to be the swing that he needs, but Cure scans out his army. Byun, all of his tanks on the left side. Bio on the right side. Too many medevacs. Dive into the main. But okay, there we go. Now Kira looking to take this engagement, disables every single tank from Byun. The army, Byun was relying on the tanks to hold that position, but Ravens, they say no to that one, and now Byun cannot fight into this. Not with the tanks from behind, but he kites backwards a little bit out of tank range. And he backs up. What are resources lost, by the way? Yeah, Byun's lost 14,000 more resources in this game. What an incredible game we're watching, but now Byun trying to chase these tanks down. The armor shredder is the anti-armor missile is about to time out, but still, these are +3 tanks. They one-shot Stim Marine, so you really do not want to fight into this one whatsoever. And there we go, tank will be disabled. There's a second tank on this line, and that one now will be shut down as well. So here it feels like he moved forward. Our anti-armor missile on top of everything, and it really starts to feel like we're starting to see the tempo, the momentum that Kira needs to make sure he can push right on through. But Byun does lose this base. At least he loses the opportunity to mine from it for at least a little bit, as now here comes the army of Kira once again. That's going to be another tank knocked down, another anti-armor missile. Byun has to give up position once again. Byun tried to get a base on the bottom right, but that will get canceled. And does Kira know about this base? No. Okay, he's going to drop on top of the tank. That will reveal that, okay, that's where Byun has been mining. So if he knocks that one down again, that will be the last of Byun's economy, realistically. But there's a tank there defensively, so maybe that's going to be something Byun now. Oh, he finds an empty planetary. This is 3-3 bio. It's dead. Okay, so that's going to be an dead planetary for Kira. Kira's going to try to box him into a corner, but is there a world where Byun gets 2? I don't think so. Anti-armor missile on the right side, really not going to hit all that much, but the left side, much more powerful. The drop from Kira, denying Byun yet more money. And while he has mules, he needs to keep the space alive. I don't know that he can, though. He's going to lose another orbital, and is this enough for Kira? Has this shut down the economy of Byun enough? 36 SCVs to 31. Byun tries to get on top. The tanks are unsieged. This might be an opportunity for Byun, but the anti-armor missile now once again. Byun on the concave, but there is just too much here for Kira anymore. The tanks, they siege, and Byun goes sky high in 27 minutes. Kira, he takes game 1, but man, what a game it was. In the bottom left, folks, in the red, his name for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it's Kira. And his opponent in the upper right in the blue. He's down 1, but oh my god, what a game 2. Game 1, excuse me. He's Byun. And a reminder, that opened with a proxy. That opened with Byun opting for some shenanigans. As we saw him go and try to be as aggressive as possible and go for that barracks double Reaper proxy setup, and well, it didn't really work out for him, did it? So for now, game is pretty simple. Byun and Kira, they're going barracks double gas factory. Reapers on both sides. Part of it's waterfall, and you can't hide things. Can't hide things on the map nearly as well as you can on Data C. So you go something a little bit more standard. Was Byun in... So the question remains, this often happens when you look at pro players, where you go and you play a really long game. You play 27, 30 minutes, 45 minutes on Data C, and then the next game you just go for some sort of crazy push because you don't want to play another 30 minutes, especially if you lose the game. But for right now, I mean, we're not seeing anything super crazy. Again, Barracks Double Gas Factory expanded. This is as standard gets. Oh, I'm sorry. This was a Reaper expand from Kira. What am I saying? I looked at things and I thought it was. But yeah, that's a slower second gas. So Kira, if he gets away with this, just a little bit of an advantage. His natural is going to be done 50% faster than Byun's is, which means quicker orbital, which means a quicker first mule, which means quicker SCVs, and you build yourself a bit of a worker lead. I'm already starting to see that show its face for Kira at this point anyways. But Byun, he's taking a page out of Kira's book, actually. This is a build that Kira was starting to iterate upon earlier on, where you go and you get your Reaper, right? Because you need that to stay safe, and you get your reactor immediately. And then you get into your extra Reapers, and your Reaper Hellion pressure, it hits at around the same time, but you have a much better launching pad into the mid game. Now, where is that second Hellion of Byun? There it comes. But Reapers in the main base, they're going to get SCV. Of course, 2-tap. So how much damage do they get done? In this case, it's 2 workers, maybe 3. And they're going to be able to get, oh, great KDA charges. They get all the way out, and the Hellions dive in the natural, where are they going to get much of anything? They get another worker. So 5 workers go down. Byun turns this game, well, it looks like he lost a couple of Reapers. Unfortunate, but he turns this game where his economy was maybe not in the best spot, down a little bit, into a game where he's up a couple workers. Although that is something that Kira will be able to recover pretty quickly, because Byun's orbital is still not done, so he can't build SCVs. And, well, the game does go on. Now, Kira's the one that decides to get aggressive on the map, but there are tanks here. And even if you have 4 Hellions and a Reaper, the tanks will blow that thing sky high so fast. But 6 Hellions are they paint an interesting tale. And for right now, Byun, oh, you gotta be very careful here out on the map like this, and a bunch of Marines will go down. But the tank here, Big Daddy tank, holds the line. Prevents Byun from getting, taking too much damage, prevents Kira from diving in a little bit too far. But Byun is going, ooh, Cloaked Ravens. Can't cloak a Raven. Cloaked Banshees. In this game number 2. Now, unfortunately for him, Kira is doing your standard TvT opener where you go Raven and you get a Cyclone, or in this case, you get a second Cyclone. Actually, no, that was just the first Cyclone. Yeah, so you get a Raven, you get a Cyclone, and you have a really solid defense, and he's taking his third base on location, so Byun has to get a lot of damage done to make this worthwhile. And, pardon me for the sin, folks, I don't think that Cloaked Banshees, especially with the Raven on the map, is going to be enough to get the damage done to equalize what is happening in this game. But maybe if Byun gets aggression on the other side of the map, maybe that is going to be what Byun is looking for. Oh, I always forget. There we go. So Byun, he's setting up aggression on the north side as the Banshee flies in on the right side. And, well, Kira's base is not ready just yet, but that's just because, well, Kira has stuff happening on the other side of the map. He's got Hellions diving in. He's getting a couple SCVs, but, well, Byun is starting to take some damage as well. This game is starting to go very bonkers here, but 12 workers have gone down for Byun. The Hellions that much more effective, and the Banshees, well, auto turret, there we go, it's dead. Both Banshees, 1 Banshee. Where's the second one? Back with the army. But the big deal, of course, is Byun. One thing we missed in the chaos, Byun was able to cancel the third base of Kira. Kill? Cancel. So it cancels the third base of Kira. And I go from this situation where it's, oh no, Kira's in an incredible spot to Kira's minorly in the lead. He does not have that third base to fall back on, but he pretty much, as soon as that came under threat, he started to build his own once again. And Byun is still on 2 bases. For what it's worth, folks, he is committed to this pretty decently. He's got, yeah, it's only 3 racks. It's not a 5 racks all in, but the longer and longer we wait until this third base goes up from Byun, the further and further Kira will find himself ahead in this game. But Byun has a really nice sieged up position, so Kira may not be able to take that third base for quite a while, especially as Kira's Raven is on the other side of the map, but he does have another one here in the main base. His auto turret gets dropped. Kira, does he drop one on the other side where the SCVs cluster? And, well, oh, Banshee, there we go. That's the damage you're looking for. 7 workers will go down. And the Raven doesn't have enough energy for an auto turret. No, it does. He's just not doing anything with it just yet. And now Kira, slowly wedging his way forward, knocking down a single Marine. That's important. But buying time, buying opportunity to knock down this contain that Byun has set for himself. His auto turret gets a couple more SCVs, and, well, that actually doesn't change the worker counts really at all. But Byun finding himself again ahead just a couple of workers here, but the Raven now out of energy. It's not going to do anything for just a little bit longer. So the Banshee now tries to dive in, getting a couple more workers, and That's going to be rather nice. I said I didn't believe in the Banshee. I believe in the Banshee. It's got 22 workers. Well, no. It's got 17 workers. But now Byun backs up. He's got something to do, somewhere to be elsewhere. Drop on the left side as he gets ready for a push in the center of things. Let's see how well this one works out for him. So, Byun scans up. Yes, okay, that is where the army of Cure is. So, he's got a drop in the main base here. And it seems like Cure is going to be able to deal with that one for the most part. Byun not doing too much with that army in the middle of the map just yet, but he will get 4 or 5 more STVs, and Byun feels like he's playing a lot more comfortable in this game number 2. And oh, he's gonna get the Raven. Oh, he does get the Raven. Maintains vision at the last second. Cure scans out the third base though and realizes that Byun does not have one. It's so weird. This is a 3-1-1. We're 9 minutes into the game and Byun doesn't have his third base. I mean, third base on the way now, but Curious is already on location, so can Byun break this out? That's the big question here. But the tank's already hit some massive shots, and the tank's doing such a great job. Cure gives up, goes away. Can Byun force him to fight right here? Can Byun force him to stay? Looks like the answer is no, not for the time being. But the Marines, they don't want to fight into this meat grinder of 4 tanks. The tank's getting 2 shots, knocking down a tank or 2 of Byun at the start. Fantastic. But even still, got to be careful. So, tank going into tank range here. And there, tank will be, oh, Byun, okay. Does he, Cure thinks he's got an opportunity. That disable a little bit questionable otherwise. By the way, look at this vision Cure has.
Mineral field depleted.
He sees the entire army. That's by far the most important thing. Byun has a drop into the natural here. He's going to try to constrain Cure while the pressure at the front not getting all that much done. So this tank will be able to siege up, but it does go down. And Byun, while he is getting damage done, it feels like, I mean, he's trading a lot to make this happen. So if we look at resources lost, Byun is certainly behind that, but he's built himself a pretty decent economic lead at this point. 1 tank will be disabled, but 3 tanks back there are more than enough firepower. And Cure, I think at this point, just give this up. Go take the base on the bottom right side of this drop. Well, there are Marines there. That's not going to get all that much done. And the slow constriction of Byun, it means that even though Byun, his third base was 3 minutes slower than what Cure has, 4 minutes slower than what Cure had, Byun is up 7 workers. Byun's economy is in a much better spot, but it's 2-2, a little bit slower. Pulling a Byun here as there we go. The medevac's going to fall down. That's not going to get all that much. Cure scans the north side, wants to know whether Byun is trying to take advantage of this position of maybe Cure being distracted. Now the bio stims in. They get a Raven. That makes this hold for Cure even more difficult. Yes, the Vikings in the sky, they make life somewhat annoying as Byun loses a medevac with 7 Marines in tow. That's not what you want, but a Viking will trade his life in the exchange. Now Cure, he's just got a decent amount of Byun's army. Going for a bit of a surround here. Is this gonna do it? Or is this just a counterattack? Actually, I think this may just be a counterattack, but Byun has high ground vision. And with a tank here, there's actually a decent amount of healing. Byun stims down the ramp, tries to, bait Cure into the tank shot, but you need a couple more shots here. Byun gets on top of it anyways. STVs have to get pulled, and Byun desperately going back home, but this may have broken the game wide open for Cure. 15 workers have gone down. He gets out with 3 medevacs, and yeah, he loses some Marines, but I think that's fine. Now Byun is the one down in economy. He's the one down a couple workers. He's down in army supply, and Cure's 2-2 is faster. So Byun, what do you have in store for us here? Can you do the same thing that Cure just did to you? The tanks, they're sieged up maybe a little bit safer, but there's just nothing in the natural. So Byun, he stims right in there. Tanks start to fall down, but Liberators are rather nice indeed. You're going to knock down the tank line of Byun, and we're going to see Rich Supply Depot go down. Cure's going to lose his third, or his natural, excuse me. That's a dead orbital. And Cure's, taps out. I don't know that game was over necessarily, but Cure certainly thought it was. Game 2. Goes the way of Byun. We're tied up. Bottom left side of the map, folks, in the red. Took game 1 in a marathon game. He fell down to Byun's relentless counter pressure in game 2. It is Cure. opponent in the upper right. It's Byun. And Reaper expand from both players. All right. The series meta is starting to evolve. You love to see it. Because, folks, Reaper expand is not really a thing. It is, kind of. But generally, Barracks Double Gas Factory is enough to deal with it. Get damage done to at least equalize. But Tropical Sacrifice is a big map. So I guess both Byun and Cure feel like they can get away with it, which means strap in, folks. This game may go a good bit longer. This is interesting. So this was gas. I assume this was going to be Reaper experiment. This is gas first from Byun. He's getting a second gas, much faster. So you want to talk about old school builds. Gas first used to be a thing. You gas barracks, get Reaper, get a lot of tech, and then, well, you would have Reaper expand. You'd have gas first. You have proxy Reaper, and those were kind of the circle of counters where gas first beats a Reaper expand, gas first beats proxy Reaper, beats Reaper expand, beats gas first. It was kind of the circle of how that one would go. Which technically puts Cure in a good spot. He went Reaper expand his opponent with gas first. And that just means his natural, of course, is slower. Byun doesn't have a lot of pressure on the map here. He's got his third Reaper on the way, sure, second Hellion, but he's not even getting into his tech super quickly like we might expect, as it looks like. Unfortunately, no game heart in this game number 3, so gonna be a little bit harder to track worker damage, but that's fine. Byun will certainly not be able to delay the natural of Cure. That is the benefit of going for Reaper Expand. I mean, you get that natural done so much faster, but he can kill off a bunch of SCVs. Maybe that is going to be worthwhile, but of course, Cure building 2 SCVs at a time. I'm going to start to build work advantage pretty soon. We saw Byun in the previous game, excuse me. He dove into the main base with his Hellions, and with his Reapers, and found some value, but oh, those Reapers, they die very quickly, but Hellions not ready to dive into the natural. That seems like Cure's okay for the most part. He's surviving. But Byun, because the Hellions were in position, he just couldn't get what he wanted done. And, well, that meant now that Cure, he's gotten away with this. He's up a couple workers. Again, that mule faster is really the biggest thing. And is this Hellion drop going to get anything done? I mean, if Cure gets damage done with his Hellion drop, off of opening Reaper Expand versus the gas first, it's going to be tremendous. So Hellions looking to line up their shots. How many workers will go down? The answer is actually a decent amount. Hellions now back into the mineral line where the SCVs are want to play. And then, well, they're going to have to play another day because this is beyond. I would not begrudge him leaving the game at this point. It is 22 workers to 38. His opponent has better tech. His opponent has better economy. That is 13 SCVs on the deck. And yes, that's a dead medevac. And yes, those are some dead marine, dead Hellions. But I don't really see much stopping this. Honestly, this feels like a disaster. Now, Byun sharks forward with what is even in that medevac? A couple Marines. Byun, he's going all in right now. And he does have a little bit more army supply. But tank's already starting to shell away at this. Byun, what are you going to get here on the right side? Is this a supply depot? Is that worth it to you? I don't really think so, especially not with the tank having range on the Cyclone, but not enough. The Cyclone will survive for the moment, but this is just buying time. Cure, all he needs is time here. Oh, there we go. The Raven Vision. Cyclone's dead. Byun, he's building SCVs behind this. He's got a Banshee on the way. That's what he needs to make happen. Byun does have a drop on the bottom side. Can he make this work? Cyclone those there. Cure is aware of what Byun has to do to fight his way back into this game. He's just giving him no avenue. So Raven to the main base, just going to, at this point, it's like, stop killing him. The SCV count continues to drop as the Raven gets 3 kills. So 3 more SCVs hit the deck. Byun 32 to 48 now. He just does not have the economy that he needs. The mining time as well, dropping a second auto turret. There we go, as the SCVs return, targeting the low ones down. And that's going to be even more kills on the deck. And he's denying mining from Byun's, well, really one of his only bases. Now, the Banshee on the other side is not getting reacted to. Cure pulls the SCVs, but Raven, come on, Cure. This should be easy for you to deal with, but 6 workers go down, make it 7. There's the lock-on you're looking for, but Cure kind of flubbed that one. I guess he was dealing with the Raven on the other side, but it's not enough to put Byun back into the game. But at the very least, it maybe gives him, it gives him a window. Oh, this tank is a little bit, this is awkward here from Cure. You got to be very careful. If your name is Cure right now, as here comes Byun moving in, how can Cure make this defense happen? He can. In fact, Byun gives up Cure now. He goes up 3-1 in the series, or 2-1 in the series. It's now series point, tournament point for Cure. Spawning in the upper right, in the red. He's down 1 game, or he's up 1 game, excuse me, in this series for DPT. It's Cure. And of course, his illustrious opponent trying to take us to game number 5 for the Rebellion. It's Byun. Everything on the line, Byun. What do you do? What is your killer TvT build? Well, it appears it's gas first. Okay. Cure again going for that Reaper expand, and every time it feels like Byun is just falling victim to the rock paper scissors of the series of builds that are happening in this game. You know, you go gas first, your opponent goes Reaper expand. More likely than not, that's just not going to work out for you all that well. Cure even sends an SCV to scout. He wants to have an understanding of what Byun is doing, and I think that's smart. So the SCV is going to show up, and the supply depot goes down. SCV, lazy, doesn't necessarily want to go and take the long walk around, so it sees that, yes, there is a, what actually didn't even see. Saw the factory on the way. Okay. And, well, Cure is aware of all the timings of a TvT, so seeing that factory is well aware of exactly what Byun is up to. Knows that this is gas first. So, he's going to be able to respond to it as appropriate, but Cure doing something a little bit different this game compared to the previous. We saw the significant Hellion count. Well, Cure is going to get this factory on the way, but getting that, I don't think he got the Marine in the previous series, but it means he can guard the ramp just a little bit better. So again, we're just seeing Cure. His base, his natural, is just a little bit ahead, but there's only 1 Reaper here, so Cure's got to run. Byun maybe a bit of an opportunity, but Reaper jumps high, and there is the Marine as well. Nice KD8 charge is going to keep... Oh, what a play there from Cure. He drops the KD8 charge as he runs away, keeps the Reaper alive, and yes, there is nothing in the natural, but the base is there. It's already turning into an orbital, and the Sim City that Cure has as well. I mean, look at this. If this supply depot goes up, that is a roundabout path that anyone has to take to run through into the main base. So that is, with the Hellions firing above, it's just such a great position for Cure to try to defend his setup. So he's adding Hellions on, reactoring them out. And this is just a mirror of the previous couple games, and Byun didn't get the damage he needed in those previous games. Now, in fact, Kira is so confident he puts SCVs in the low ground, but this may just be a bit of a mistake. Yeah, I don't know. That may have been a little bit too ballsy here, but he keeps the SCVs alive for the moment. And the Hellions, they're going to pop out right now. Maybe it wasn't a mistake after all. Maybe it was just a bait. And there we go. Reapers fall. Hellions by themselves, good, not great. And now here comes Huron on the other side of the map. He's got a Reaper, but most importantly, he's got those 4 Hellions. And is he gonna draw? Is he gonna go for a drop once again? I don't think so. We don't have a medevac on the field, and he's getting a tech lab on this starport, so he's not gonna go for the Hellion drop that worked so well for him in the previous game. But I think that's fine. Again, Byun is not finding the value he wants. Kira finds himself up just a couple workers every time this happens. And yes, we've seen Byun has an ability to come back into these games. He did it on Waterfall. I think in general, Kira has been looking better in this series. So Byun disadvantage. Kira looking better in TvT is really not a compelling story for how this is going to go. The Hellion's going to drive on top of the Hellions of Byun. Oh, that's a great shot there on the Cyclone and the tank. But now Kira backs up and he goes down to 5 Hellions. Kira, what do you have defensively here? Not actually all that much, but we're going to see the Cyclone fall, well, actually not all that quick. This push from Byun, while there's not a lot to it, is actually incredibly powerful. And I think this third base is just going to get canceled. That may have just been a bit too ballsy, but there we okay, auto turret gets dropped. Snipes the tank down because the Raven, it does fall. That's a big deal. And the tank stays alive. Oh, wait a minute. Byun, have you found the timing you need? Yes, he has. Third base is going to be delayed. It's going to get canceled almost certainly. And Cure just keeping it alive as long as possible to buy time. What does Cure have? He's got a tank. He's got 2 Marines. Byun has a Raven. He can auto turret. He can disable that tank. And there's really not a lot. So Byun drops the scan, moves in. There we go. The auto turret soaks damage. Here come the SCVs. Hold on to the auto turret though. And the tank though from Byun will stay alive, or from Cure will stay alive. Even still, 12 workers go down and they will get the tank. That much is true, but the entire mineral line of Cure is now down, and Cure's the one that's got to go all in this game. But 2 tanks and 3 Marines, folks, that is not how you all in. So both players hitting each other with absolute haymakers in the series in this game. How can Cure come back? He's got his third base on the way on the high ground. Byun's third base this time faster on the low ground, so no advantage there from Cure. Stim about the same timing. E-base faster for Byun. There is no, I'm looking for it, but I don't see a single advantage that Cure can look to leverage. So he's got 2 choices. He can go all in, which I don't think is going to work, or he can try to take this game to about 30 minutes. And well, as much as we talk about how, well, supply doesn't matter in TvT nearly as much, when you're as far ahead as Byun is, we're going to start to see some supply leads that may matter, despite supply doesn't matter all that much. Cure can't even afford his armor upgrade yet. He doesn't have enough gas for it. He had to pull all of his SCVs onto mineral mining to try to make up for what he has lost. So Byun's 2-2 is faster. And Byun and Cure's +2 armor is just going to be pretty slow anyways. So again, everything coming up roses for Byun in this game number 4, and it's all off that pressure, all off Cure getting too many Hellions and not transitioning into his tanks quickly enough. That really is that really makes the difference. Small units, big advantages. And now Stim is done. 1-1 will be done for Byun soon enough. And we're not seeing his army supply skyrocket, but that's just because he's developing his tech, developing his production. Wouldn't be surprised to see him necessarily get a 4th base, but he's up 26, 25 workers. The income advantage that he is going to be able to turn into a game advantage is so significant. Okay, Byun marauding onto the bottom side of the map here with a lot of his army. Does he think that, yeah, I guess he just wants to make sure that Cure has no proxy base, no ninja base on the bottom right side. He does not, so that's going to be just one extra thing on the check mark of Byun's list that he will not have to worry about. So there we go. 1-1 is done. Byun's army on the right side was going to get scattered out by this Marine, but Byun will take that sacrifice, even if he's a bit disappointed that these Marines will now not get anything done. But there we go. 4th base halfway done for Byun. And while he loses out on the upgrade timing, and in fact, his upgrades are going to be a little slow for 2-2. I'm sorry, Cure's upgrades are going to be a little bit slow for 2-2 with that slower armory. The big deal that we're looking at, I mean, Byun is it's 160 supply to 117. It's a 30 army supply lead, and with the Raven just dropping auto turrets everywhere, the Vikings of Byun are just going to win this fight. Auto turrets fight auto turrets, and that's not really what you want to have happen. Vikings now they land to try to kill that one, but that's not going to work out. And now Byun has no air dominance whatsoever. He has no air position, and he's actually going to have to pick up and lift up. And ooh, the Marines, they're going to get a stim on top, and there's going to be a couple Vikings go down. Byun targets the one furthest away from him first, and he gets all but one. One Viking will go away to tell the tale, but Cure, he punishes Byun for being just a little bit too ballsy. But now tanks get dropped, or Marines, excuse me, get dropped on the front side, trying to bait tank shots to buy time for the tanks of Byun to siege up. But I don't know that this is going to break. Oh, no, never mind. It is. The tank shots are fantastic. And, well, Byun takes game 4. Cure is not able to buckle it down. Not enough. And, folks, we're going to game 5. And the bottom left, folks, in the red. Sending out SCVs on the map. All or nothing. It's Cure. His opponent may be prepared to weather the storm. For the rebellion, it's Byun. And Proxy Reaper just outside the main base. Byun, he is going gas first once again. In game 5, he's going with what's work for him. And I wonder, is that going to do it? Actually, no, this is Barracks double gas. Yeah, this is Barracks double gas. What am I saying? So this technically is a build that deals with the Proxy Reaper play. If you're able to scout it well enough, you're able to hold the ramps with your Marines and your Reapers and buy time for the Hellions to go out, you can hold this very nicely. We're going to have to see just how well Byun has practiced the hold in this setup. For right now, the Reaper's going to scout this out very quickly, and the good news is he's going to scout that out when there is only one Reaper on the field for Cure. So while Byun will take some damage on his Reaper, he's not going to lose the Reaper immediately, which is again is a good deal. In fact, he's not going to take, well, he takes a little bit of damage, but he gets the scout off. That's the important thing. And now STV is preemptively pulled. How does Cure make this happen? Now the factory looks like it actually will complete here. Cure tries to take a bit of an interesting route, and he will be able to find his way into the main base, which is what you're trying to deny by pulling the SCVs like this. And one worker will fall down to start. Oh, wait, Cure gets on top of the Reaper of Byun, but Byun gets the first Reaper. Wait, he's going to get 2? He does! He wins 1-on-2, and that's just it! Byun! 3-2, no way! What? That's not supposed to happen!